Hey folks, and welcome to Unit 2. So Unit 2 is going to focus on writing an analytical paper where you consider how scholars attempted to answer a research question. So the last paper you looked at whether or not popular sources did a good job of explaining the research that a group of scholars did. This time we're going to really try to understand how scholars try to answer those questions. It's a precursor to trying to answer research questions yourself, which you're going to do in essays 3 and 4. Let's go ahead and get into week 4. So this week, watch the week 4 video, obviously. Read the article, Those Studies Showing That Drinking is Good for You were funded by Big Alcohol. Participate in research discussion number 1. And then I want you to read the essay 2 assignment. Watch Looking for Scholarly Articles, which is a video. Find 2 scholarly articles, that's for essay 2, and write and submit annotations of those 2 scholarly articles for essay 2. And then go ahead and start looking at next week's work right now. Let's go ahead and walk through some of that. Self-explanatory, that's the week 4 video, obviously. The studies, the article about the studies being funded by Big Alcohol, and then your research discussion round 1. The essay 2 folder here, so it's the essay 2 assignment. Again, this is due on October 5th. We want to watch Looking for Scholarly Articles. That's video, and then write the annotations for essay 2. Get essay 2. Context here. So essay 1 focused on the idea that the first step in the information literacy process is to realize that what one finds in popular sources on the internet is likely of dubious authority, or, maybe more likely, it might generally be right, but it's not necessarily specific enough to act on. Often, then, students click the scholarly sources box in one tab in or one search in our PSE library database and presume that whatever information that comes out is fine. It's often not. Scholarly studies are only as good as the work that goes into them and ultimately the peer review that critiques them. Different studies on the same subject end up coming to different conclusions. That right there is why you turn notifications off on your devices. Now, the assignment for essay 2, I want you to find 2 scholarly articles that are attempting to answer the same question. If you'd like to use one of the scholarly article that you used in essay 1 as one of those 2, you can feel free. If you want a new topic, this is your opportunity to pick a new topic. So these studies, and they really need to be studies, okay? You can't just have a scholarly article that's about a historical discussion or something of that sort. It's got to have a study in it for this to work. So it needs to be a study that looks at the same aspect of the topic. Theoretically, you want both these articles trying to answer the same question. The 2 articles you guys read last week on diet soda attempt to answer the same question, whether diet soda aids or harms one's desire to lose weight. It's a good example of a pair of articles on the same topic. Once you've got the 2 articles, your goal is to figure out which one is stronger, or alternatively, how they differed in how they reached the results. For example, if we were thinking about this again in terms of the diet soda articles, they came to different results. How did they end up coming to different results? What was it about the studies that made them come to different results? Okay, so in order to do this, you need to look at the author's background, the journal in which it's published, any statements, possible conflicts of interest, and the study design itself. There's going to be a lot of details on how to do this in the upcoming weeks, so don't worry about that right now. You might need to do a tiny bit of research for this on the author, the journal, or conflict of interest, but it will not be the sort of research paper you wrote probably in high school or that you're going to write in essays 3 and 4. All this stuff down here is the usual sort of boilerplate. Do pay attention to it, okay? But the essay here, in short, is trying to figure out, if we look at 2 articles that try to answer a very similar or identical question, how did they get to the results they got to? Okay, they're almost always going to have different results, even if they only slightly differ. Why do they differ in the way that they do? How might we be able to explain that? And that's our goal for this essay. Essay assignment, I want you to watch this video on how to look for scholarly articles, and also I'm going to put a video here from Bill Condon, our class librarian, and that'll have contact info for him in there, and if you are running into any troubles, contact him right away and he can help you find some articles. And then finally, of course, I want you to write annotations of each of those 2 scholarly articles that you found. So you're going to turn in 2 annotations here, one for each of the 2 scholarly articles you'd like to use in essay number 2. This is also going to be the first opportunity for me to see that essay pair and give you some feedback. And if I don't think it's going to work, I want to be able to let you know that right now and not as you're working on writing the essay itself, okay? So always why I have the nice long drawn out timelines for working on the essays, so I can give you some feedback and get you back on the right track if you're not there. Okay. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know.